Students, feeling sad about your professional future because of, everything? I don't blame you. It looks like it's gonna be tough for Gen Z, and it'd be normal to be worried about how it's going to shake out. For what it's worth, I'm sorry, and I blame the boomers.
A long time ago in a classroom far, far away, I was a heavily indebted law student whose confusion matched this look about how to navigate professional life. I felt a lot like you probably feel right now. I knew I needed a job, but I didn't know exactly how to get one. So lucky for me, law firms would visit our school to recruit, and one day a big firm from Texas, my home state, showed up to campus to host an info session. But before they get started, my classmate, let's call him Ben, stands up, walks straight to the partner, and starts talking to him in front of everyone. Now, I was no expert, as you'll soon see, but I knew enough to know that you were supposed to wait until after the info session for that kind of conversation. So I was confused as to why Ben would do this, but I got even more confused when it looked like it was working. Ben and the partner were talking and laughing like they were old friends. Eventually, Ben sits down and the fancy partner gives his fancy law firm presentation and ended to thunderous applause, and 50 students stood up in unison to mob the presenters and try and up their chances of getting an interview. I did not join them on this day. Instead, I intercepted Ben on his way back up to the front where this exchange took place. "Hey Ben, what was that before the session? Do you know that guy or something?" And he said, "Not really. I just met him a couple weeks ago in Dallas. I reached out to see if we could meet over coffee and talk about his firm." That was my face before I snapped out of it, and I said, "I didn't know you could do that." And he said, "Yeah, it's not a big deal." That, my friends, was my introduction to networking. It probably won't surprise you to learn that Ben was the one who landed that internship out of the 50 students in that room that day. I now know he probably had that internship locked up before they even got to campus. My introduction to networking was just the first in a long series of events where professional life expected something of me that I was not prepared for. Whether it was interviewing for jobs or interviewing others, running meetings or running projects, talking to clients or talking to the CEO, I encountered task after task I was not ready for, and I struggled to figure things out along the way. Over time, I learned that I wasn't alone. I saw that pretty much everybody else struggled too. The Bens of the world are rare, and to be honest, most grown-ups in the working world don't really ever figure things out, and their careers are mostly a source of frustration and disappointment.
So what's the point of Matt's long ramble? Well, my young friends, the point is that you are right to be worried about your professional future. You aren't ready because college, no matter which one you go to, didn't prepare you for work. And your workplace probably won't offer much help either. If you think you are ready, and I know a lot of smart college students that think they are, you are delulu, and that's not the Salulu. You're actually in more trouble than the others who aren't. Look, I'm not saying the world will end and you'll starve, but I am saying you are going to end up like our generation did, and many of you, despite thousands of hours of effort and massive expense, will not end up with thriving careers full of impact and optionality. Well, we would never rain on your parade without giving you an umbrella, and we have one in the form of this startup we just co-founded. How's that for self-promoting transition?
PathFinder Career Prep fills the gap between what you learned in school, whatever that was, with what you'll need in the workplace, wherever you work. We have in-depth modules on resumes, networking, and interviewing so you can get jobs like a pro, as well as modules on emotional intelligence, workplace problem solving, workplace communication, and retirement, so you can work those jobs like a pro too, regardless of what you do. You can think of it like an SAT prep class, but for something that actually matters and never stops mattering your entire life.
We offer this program in person in limited class sizes that include 3 years of quarterly follow-ups, as well as on-demand, online, or one-on-one if you want sustained, individualized support. So check us out at the below links, or hit us up for a free consultation if you want to go in depth about what and how we teach our program.
Just call us.
Please